Over to you, Line Daniel.
Well, hello, Lions. It is so wonderful to be here with you today. I have to begin by saying it is an honor and a privilege to visit this district and specifically this zone. I have had the privilege of being on many virtual events with members of this district and this zone. I've had the opportunity to participate in the USA Canada Leo Leadership Forum, in which Leo Lion Fabian Maxwell was instrumental in being a part of. I have had the opportunity to be directly instructed by a past council chair, Malcolm, who is one of my instructors at a Lions Leadership Institute. And many of you have attended the virtual events. So I did just want to say it is a good to be home with you, Lions. Today we are celebrating heroes, our members. And I do want to say it is so wonderful to see that your district is growing, that members are being sworn in, and new Leos are taking the oath and the pledge and joining. For the people who have just joined, and for those who have served for 40 years, I have a question. What is our mission? What is the mission of Lions Clubs International? We began this zone meeting by reading the Code of Ethics, which is wonderful. It's very important. But what is our mission? It is the mission of Lions Clubs International to empower volunteers to serve their communities, to meet humanitarian needs, to promote peace and encourage international understanding. It's a single sentence. How we can begin to live that mission is to memorize that sentence. Live that sentence in every day, because around the world, we had a very tough year, the year before and this year. We're talking about clubs reactivating, not just in this district, but in all districts. So in doing so, I would like us all to ask ourselves a question. Do you love being a lion? Do you love being a Leo? Raise your hand if you do. Now, are you willing to let the fire, the spark of service die with you? Because if we're not careful, it just might. For many years, we have been the world's largest service organization. In order to maintain that, we have to remember our mission and live it on a daily basis of service. And how do we do that? By celebrating our members. What are we going to do? It's important, especially as we are reactivating our clubs, to remember that it's your club your way, that we need to find our passions. What are you passionate about? Because if you're passionate about something, about making a difference in the world, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it is meeting a humanitarian need, it can be service. Find your passion and define your service. So for us in my district, when we began the process of reactivation, we began with questions. And we began to ask our members, what is it that you are truly passionate about? What was that one service project that just made you have that aha moment and realize that this is what you wanted to do with the rest of your life? Because that's the service project we should start first with. And in that process, we began to realize that there were some members who had passions and things that they cared about that our club was not doing, that our district was not doing. How do we celebrate our members? We let their voices be heard. How do we get the next generation of Lions to want to be a part of us? We let them know on day one as a Lion, that they have a voice, that that voice is important, and that we need them as a future leader within this association. Let them use their voice. Our club has a don't say no policy. What does that mean? That means if someone joins our club as a new member and proposes a service project, we try it. Doesn't matter what it is. If it is meeting a need within our community and they are willing to put in the work to try and help to make it done, we give it a shot. On day one as a Lion, you can propose a service project. That has created a club in which every single person who is a member feels like they have the potential to go as far as they want to because they are heard, they are celebrated, they are appreciated for who they are. They're just not another set of hands for a service project that has existed for the last 10 years. They have the potential to help chart the course of not only our club, but our district. Many of you may not be familiar with my story. I have only been a Lion for just under 5 years. But in those 5 years, I have recruited around 150 people into Lionism. And those are the ones that I've directly sponsored. That doesn't count the ones I've recruited for other clubs or other districts or the other clubs I have started as a new club consultant. We began with a club that was a branch club. It had just 5 members. We grew those 5 members until now over 130 members, which is 10% of our entire district. How did we do that? By listening to our members, by not being trapped within a box of saying that this is what Lionism is. We went out into our community and we asked our community what the need was. And there was a community member who said, well, the need is that children in our community need something to do. And I asked them what they wanted to do. And the children said, we would like to play chess. I said, chess? Okay. I asked our sponsoring Lions Club, is chess a service project? Well, it's not one of the 5 global areas of service that Lions do. But is it the need in the community? I said, yes, sir. And they said, then do it. From that chess program, we ended up recruiting every single parent of all of the kids who were in that chess program because we had shown them that we were willing to take time for their children. And because we were willing to take time for their children, they were willing to make time for us. We had a young man whose passion was riding bikes. That became a service project, riding bikes with the youth and then providing bikes for youth in our community so that they could ride together. It began by celebrating that person's passion, that interest, and recognizing that every single member, from the person who has served for 40 years to the doctor who just joined today, has within them the leadership skills necessary to define a whole new world of service, meeting new needs. So when we are doing this and we are going out and we want those new members, I want you to consider something. We need to be thinking for the future. It is important to honor the traditions of the past. They are very important to know our history. But if you are talking to someone and you want a younger member to join your association, talk about what you did last year, not what Lions did in 1917. Don't talk about 1925. Say something like, last year, Lions Clubs International Foundation gave out $6.3 million in COVID response grants. Say something like, this is what our club did during the pandemic, or this is what our club wants to do tomorrow with your help. Recognize that the potential for the future is far greater We stand upon the shoulders of giants, but we can reach new heights if we celebrate the members we have today, and we provide a place of honor for the members that we would like to join tomorrow. One way to celebrate the heroes, our true heroes who are members, is to do leadership development. And this is a very important thing. And when I say this, in some places, they get a little bit nervous. On day one as a Lion, day one, I became a member of the board of directors of a club that had existed for 80 years. Why? Well, because they had set up their constitution and bylaws that if they were to establish a branch club, that branch club president should be on the board of directors of the club and have a vote. Now, I'd only been a Lion for a single day. What good can a single day Lion do? That's something that we often asked. I have been in places that I have traveled to, and they do not realize I'm there as the guest speaker. And they look at me and they say, "How long have you been a Lion?" I say, "Oh, about, 4 years." And they said, "You know what? In a decade, you would make a great Lions leader." Okay. We need to celebrate the people for the skills they have, because a day one Lion could be someone who spent 20 years doing community development work and have a whole host of skills that they could bring to the table. But because I was given the opportunity on day one to have a voice and be a part of the leadership of this district, of this club, and was encouraged at every step of the way. As a Lion for less than a year, they recommended I attend the Emerging Lions Leadership Institute. As a Lion less than 2 years, they recommended that I go to the Advanced Lions Leadership Institute, where I had the privilege of learning from past Council Chair Malcolm Kirwan. They encouraged me at every step of the way. I hope that you are doing that within your clubs, offering opportunities for leadership. Now, not burden, not saying we need you because of this. It's if you would like to have a say, give them an opportunity to develop. And you will have someone who feels valued. That is the type of experience that creates Lions for life. There's the famous saying, leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders. So in every action that you are doing, ask yourself, is what you're doing creating more leaders? When it comes to working with the Leo clubs, not in this district, but in other districts that I have visited, I have seen sometimes a flaw in how they interact, that the Leo clubs become the physical labor for the Lions clubs. They are the young people to carry the heavy objects. They are the young people who get told what to do. Now, I know that your district is not this way, because you could teach the world a little something or two about Leoism. But it's something important to remember, that if we want Leos to become Leo Lions, we need to make sure that they feel that they have a place, that their voice can be heard in the conversation. The way our club works with our Leos is that we let them decide what the service projects are. For our Lions Club, we ask them, what would you like to do? What are you passionate about? And then we empower them to take leadership and support them so that they can help that process. As a result, we have 100% conversion rate from Leo into Leo Lion. Every single time someone turns old enough to become a Lion, they ask for their birthday a Lions Club application. Why? Because we have celebrated them for the heroes that they are. When it comes to the core of everything that we do, we need to remember what is the motto of Lions Clubs International. We serve. Our motto is not we meet. Sometimes there are clubs that have forgotten that the primary focus of the club becomes the meeting. Our club has taken the stance that every single meeting that we have, we include service as a part of it, including our zone meetings. We just had our zone meeting on Tuesday, and we were lucky enough to be able to have it in person. But there waiting for all of the attendees was a pile of blank cards. And this is something you could even do virtually at home. But we had a pile of blank cards, and as a part of the zone meeting, every Lion and Leo that was in attendance wrote a card to a young child at the Children's Hospital suffering from pediatric cancer. We took a moment to reconnect even the administrative purpose of Lions back to service. And we had everybody leaving that meeting saying, that was the best zone meeting we've ever attended. Why? Because service is the key, or should be the key, to all that we do. So I have a question, and this is an interesting question. What is the most important award in all of Lionism? Is it the Ambassador of Goodwill, which, if you listened to the introduction, was mentioned, was the highest award in Lionism? Is it the Presidential Medal that the district governor gives out, usually one a year? Is it a Leadership Medal? Is it the Certificate of Presidential Appreciation? I will tell you, those are wonderful awards. They're amazing awards. And if you get them, you should be honored to have one. But the most important award, in my humble opinion, is the membership key. The most important award in all of Lionism is the one award that you can earn directly through a specific action, an action that is recognized by LCI. And that's recruiting more members, because they are the future of this association. That membership key recognizes that you have done something above and beyond. You have given life to this association. It is a physical representation of all of the collected and future years of service of every single Lion that you recruit. It's my recommendation whenever I travel anywhere that if there is a member of your club or your district who receives this award, that they should be recognized in the highest possible manner. And I was overjoyed to see that your zone meeting did that you included a part of that as the presentation to recognize these people. To the Lion who sponsored 13 Lions, thank you. To the Lion who sponsored 1 Lion, thank you. Our association has a hope and a future because of your actions. Your community will be served for many more years to come. So if you have just joined the association, consider who else you can recruit. And our international president, Douglas Alexander, has the each one bring one mentality. 1.4 million Lions in the world. We could have 2.8 just like that. What I would like to say on that is that practice makes perfect. How can you expect to be good at something if you don't practice it? If we were discussing violin and the art of playing violin, if you had never played a violin and picked one up without practicing, you would not make a joyous sound. The art of recruitment is the same. Try and put together the list. And there was one club that talked about targeting specific people within the community, age, demographics. That's exactly the mentality that you should be looking. Create a list of potential members. always be ready to recruit. I never go anywhere without having a Lions Club application in my pocket. Why? Because that Lions Club application represents hope, hope for my community. And at any point in time, I meet somebody who's got the right heart and cares about service, I want to be able to sign them up in an instant. So that's my challenge. My challenge to you as you celebrate the members that you have and go out to try and recruit new members is to try and get that most important award. And if you don't have one, that's okay. You still have time. And if you have one, that's okay. They have another level up. So thank you for your time and consideration and the opportunity to speak with you all here today. Keep serving.